Find a routine that works.
Yeah.
That routine has got to include prospecting every single day.
About a month ago, we did a TIA Lunch and Learn, webinar series with the TIA Education Department, and it was titled How to Sell in a Soft Market. And for those that don't know, or for those that are outside the logistics industry, our market is a little bit tougher to get new clients right now. And so we wanted to help the industry out and help other logistics professionals land new business and close more deals. When it comes to that, man, one question that we always get is the lead generation piece, right? So what are some ways that brokers can lead generate to help themselves out?
Yeah, it's something that you have to do very, very consistently. You can't take a month off from prospecting and lead gen and just expect to jump right back into it.
Yeah.
It's like exercise. You're going to get out of shape and rusty if you don't do it. So lead gen.
You mean I can't have like a 3-hour workout just one day a month?
That doesn't make up for being a slob for a month. But,
right, 29 other days, man.
Yeah. When it comes to lead gen, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you have to be open-minded about where opportunities lie.
Right.
Networking, driving, just look around.
Yeah.
Going to the store, driving referrals. Who do you currently work with? If you're in the industry and you're brokering and you're working with shippers and you're doing a great job for them, ask them who they work with or ask them who they know.
Right.
See what type of introductions they can make for you.
Yeah.
If you turn on the TV, you'll see a commercial.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, they're moving products. So lead gen's everywhere. And if you have a CRM, if you're a part of a larger company and you have a CRM, which most companies do, small to large, like most sales companies have them.
Yeah.
Utilize your CRM. There's a lot of leads that are already in there, but when you're lead gen, you want to be focused on a specific industry so you're not all over the place when you're actually calling and selling. Mm-hmm. So whether it's food and bev, manufacturing, produce, building materials, that will help you focus your pitch and your approach because you'll be able to have a client profile on the challenges that they face and what type of value you can bring to them. So, what in terms of lead gen, like what am I missing? What other opportunities are there for lead gen?
You nailed a ton of them, man. I think there's a lot where they're right under our nose, right? Anytime that you go to the grocery store or you go to a retailer, those products have to get there somehow. And, 72% of this country is moved on a truck, right? So what does that mean? Like those products had to get in the store or on the shelf at the grocery store at some point. I love this, right? I call it like back to basics prospecting. And, taking that product, flipping it over, snapping a picture of the product, where they're from, calling them on the following Monday, right? I love that stuff. I mean, I know you do it all the time at Costco.
My wife gets so pissed because it's like, we just same. We go out to eat and you start talking, small talking with people. It's just like, can you just like enjoy your time with me and stop finding out what they do for a living so you can ship their products? But go on.
Yeah, what do? You're a shipping manager?
Do you know any?
Right. No, I think that's the back to basics stuff it's right in front of your nose, right? And like one thing I remember, this was early, like 2009, 2010, but that was always encouraged, right? Go to the store, have a notepad, write stuff down. Nowadays we have smartphones. Back then I probably had like a flip phone, right? But like, the smartphone, snapping a picture. Now at the end of a grocery trip, I probably have 150 leads that I can call on Monday or do some more research to figure out what parent company are they with, or where are they shipping product out of.
Yeah, so you have your leads. Let's say you find your sweet spot. If you train, like most brokers, you'll come in and train if you don't have experience. Yeah, you'll learn under a more tenured broker. So if they're moving proteins or produce or whatever it may be, you tend to gravitate towards that commodity.
Right.
So let's say you're running produce and you go and find 100 leads, produce all over the country. Yeah. What's your next step?
Yeah, I think it's finding out how to get in touch with the logistics manager or the person that handles the freight at those facilities, right? And I think it is a process, right? Having to figure out who those people are, and if they are currently using asset-based or brokers. If they're, using brokers, it's a plus. And the next step is, figuring out if it's the right fit for both companies aside. And then, try to deliver some pricing or try to get some lanes to get pricing for them. And start developing that relationship, partnership for the long run.
Yeah, I say this all the time, and our team's probably sick of hearing it, but if you cannot add value to an organization, there's no sense in talking.
Agreed.
So do your homework, do a little bit of legwork up front, see if they're potentially a good fit, get them on the phone and listen. Ask the right questions and listen. If you're coming out of the gates firing away with a sales pitch,
right,
when you don't know shit about them,
no, it's exactly
they're going to hang up on you because you don't know anything about them. So how are you knowing what to sell to?
Right.
So learning more about what exactly they need and tailoring your pitch to their specific needs is going to increase your likelihood for them to continue the conversation.
I agree. And I love the fact that, you're talking about, okay, am I prospecting food and beverage in the morning? Right? Or I'm prospecting building materials in the afternoon. Now, some of the conversations that you're having, and you have more continuity when you're making those cold dials, right? And don't get me wrong, cold call, inside sales in the logistics industry, it's very hard, right? It is not a good probability or percentage game, right? You make 100 calls, you might have 5 or 10 people that say, yeah, maybe call me a couple weeks from now and we can have a conversation. Out of those 5 or 10, how many do you set up in a given month? Maybe 2 or 3, right? So it is a challenging game. And I think that, the more that you know that on the front end, and the more that you have those expectations, the more you can, grind it out and know that there's, greener pastures ahead.
Yeah. And I think the biggest part, and we're going to spend a lot of time on, the sales process on another episode. I think that's a bigger conversation. So we're not going to spend too much time on it now, but I think the biggest thing you can do to help yourself is find a routine that works.
Yeah.
And that routine has got to include prospecting every single day.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined, whether you're blocking it into 30-minute blocks, or if from 1 to 3 p.m. you're prospecting every single day. But be disciplined with that. That way your pipeline's always filled. And you said it. If you have 100 opportunities, you're probably going to close a small percentage of those.
Yeah.
Okay. So when your pipeline's constantly filled, you're always going to have clients coming in as long as you're doing the right things. But sometimes, doing the basics doesn't get you across the finish line.
Correct.
On the next episode, I want to talk about some strategies on how you can separate yourself from the competition, be different, and increase your likelihood of success.
So you're talking about like $25 with shipping and everything included to try to land a customer and set yourself outside the box, even with like the thing of Woodford, right? So what's that? $40 to land a massive account that could produce millions of dollars in potential gross sales.